Okay. So, Eric Adams just issued a statement as it relates. He was responding to 50 Cent. Yes, we've got politicians that are responding to entertainers these days about politics. So, it was revealed that the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, will be issuing, I guess, a series of debit cards to migrants to the tune of $53 million collectively. A lot of people were seeming to object to that online and making all types of statements about it. And, to be plain about it, essentially this is money that New York was going to expense to these people anyway, simply to be able to make the lives of New Yorkers manageable. It's money that was already going to be allocated. They're just trying to figure out ways of making it more efficient. By making it more efficient, they might actually even save some money. Who knows? But this is not money that's actually coming from some other place that would have otherwise been allocated toward helping other Americans. The government essentially allocates money to whatever it wants, whenever it wants. And so, and we do deficit spending in this country. So the government can just print up whatever money it wants to make do. And that's how we essentially fund this system. So, no migrant is actually taking money from, you or other people, etc. And then also another thing that's not always noted is that immigrants actually pay taxes, right? They pay taxes in this country. Some of them probably don't even get a return. So, any money that you see that might actually help migrants in this particular instance, which is essentially welfare, right? It's welfare to make sure that they're not simply on the street, creating more issues, not only for themselves, but other New Yorkers. And the final thing about this is that these people are essentially being bused from more familial and economic supportive infrastructures that are closer to the border onto these essentially landlocked enclaves into the interior of the American interior, different cities, etc., that have absolutely no infrastructure, no historical infrastructure, such as border cities and states do, for essentially dealing with historical migration patterns. Okay, people have been coming across the Texas border for hundreds of years. And they go back and forth. So that's basically what's been going on before this became a hot button political issue over the past 10, 15 years or so, 20 years or so. And so, those are the things that are going on. I think that everybody should, pretty much keep your head together on this particular situation. It's manageable. Sure, there are people that are exploiting the situation. There are people that are actually making it worse than it actually needs to be. But that's politics right now. And me, for one, I refuse to actually be goaded into being overly emotional about issues that people can fix, and that I know that they're not fixing so that, well, you can be emotional. Immigration equals votes for a lot of folks. So just understand that, and don't be manipulated. To put it plain and simple, if Republicans wanted to get rid of immigration, they would fine every employer $50,000 per head. Okay, fine. You've ended all immigration. You know why that doesn't happen? Because nobody wants to end all immigration. Okay, so or illegal immigration. They don't want to end it. All right. So it's a game that gets played. You get factored into it as an emotional voter, and people jerk your strings. Okay. So those are the types of things that go on. Same thing to a lesser degree with Democrats. They should actually and should have essentially engaged this issue a little bit more seriously over the past few years, etc. But it's not like it's their fault. These are migration patterns that have been happening for hundreds of years, and sure, it's been exacerbated by things that are happening in South America, etc. But again, these things are all manageable, and we just need to kind of keep a clear head. That's my take.